Now on 4 News Now at 6, new details on what investigators found in the home of the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students. The single piece of evidence that could be the key to this case.
Get ready for an icy drive to work in the morning. Temperatures are plummeting after today's record snowfall. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get and when we could get another round of snow.
And Washington lawmakers working to limit the impact social media has on you and your family. What Representative Cathy McMorris Rodgers and Senator Maria Cantwell say needs to change. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. New information tonight in the investigation of the University of Idaho murders. We learned today investigators have more DNA from Bryan Kohberger than we initially thought. Kohberger is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder. He was arrested at the end of December in his parents' home in Pennsylvania. The search warrant from that arrest was released today. Emily Bloom explains what we've learned.
Aaron, investigators collected DNA evidence from trash outside of Kohberger's parents' home and tied that to the DNA that was on the knife sheath found at the crime scene. Now we know they have more DNA evidence than just what they got from that garbage. This morning, Pennsylvania unsealed the search warrant from when Kohberger was arrested. It revealed investigators got a buccal swab from Kohberger at the time of his arrest. That is a swab from his inner cheek. Additionally, investigators collected 4 medical-style gloves, a flashlight, Kohberger's clothes, and a pair of Nikes. It's not clear if any of that evidence will make a significant difference to the investigation. You may remember Moscow Police Court documents showed investigators managed to collect a shoe print similar to that of a Vans type shoe sole at the scene of the murder. Those documents didn't indicate the size of the shoe, but we know the pair of Nikes seized in Pennsylvania were size 13. According to that warrant, investigators were also looking for Kohberger's cell phone and computer devices, but those items were not listed on the items collected list. A separate search warrant that gave investigators access to Kohberger's Pullman apartment revealed they found and took a computer from that location. The Pennsylvania search warrant shows investigators started following his tracks in mid-December, and they were also monitoring his phone. Those investigators got permission to carry out the search warrant in the middle of the night, quote, based on the serious and violent nature of these crimes. Kohberger's preliminary hearing is set for the end of June. He has not entered a plea. Reporting in studio tonight, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Emily, thank you. Meanwhile, newly unsealed court records show a battle between the attorney representing the Gonsalves family, Shannon Gray, and the judge. According to documents, Gray doesn't believe he should have to follow the gag order, and he accused the Latah County prosecutor, Bill Thompson, of leaking information about the case to the media. Gray is still fighting for himself and his clients to be allowed to speak freely about the case. You can read the full story and see the court documents right now on KXLY.com. Well, crews are out in full force in Spokane trying to clear the streets. It's the city's first full city plow of the year. You'll want to take it slow tomorrow morning as the roads are starting to freeze. We'll send it over to Chris Crocker to see just how cold it's going to get tonight and if we have more snow on the way, Chris.
Well, right now our roads are covered with snow in many locations and wet from today's melting. We had a record 4.4 inches in Spokane today. Our previous record just over 3 inches back in 1955. We're well above average for the season by about 10 inches. Here's a look at some of the other snowfall totals from around the region. 8 inches in Cheney. We had hit hard in the Spokane area, although that airport reading was just over 4 inches. Many locations right around Spokane got in excess of 6 inches of snow. Meanwhile, we are cooling down below freezing. In fact, we're already in the teens in Coeur d'Alene. It's 30 in Spokane, 31 in St. Mary's, and 28 degrees right now in Colville. Those wet and slushy roads and untreated surfaces are freezing solid as we head down into the teens tonight. Here's a look at some of the forecast lows around the region. 13 in Deer Park, 13 in Spirit Lake. We will have a fair amount of clouds drifting through, but enough breaks in the overcast that the temperature will have no trouble dropping into the teens with some patchy freezing fog, just adding another element to our slick roads. Here's a look at your Wednesday planner. We are going to see some sunshine tomorrow, but temperatures staying about 10 degrees below average. Our average high is 44. We're heading up into the 34-degree range with another round of snow on the way for Thursday. I'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. The roads are getting more dangerous for pedestrians in the U.S. That's according to the Governor's Highway Safety Association. They say 3,400 pedestrians were killed in the first half of last year. That's an average of 19 deaths every day, a 5% increase over the same period in 2021, a year that set a 40-year record for fatalities. To try and make our roads safer, Idaho State Police say they will be cracking down on aggressive driving. That includes things like tailgating, speeding, cutting people off. The Office of Highway Safety says 39% of all fatal crashes last year involved some sort of aggressive driving. Social media is now part of our everyday lives. We spend a fair amount of time scrolling through our feeds, but no group uses these platforms more than children. The Seattle School District is suing major tech companies, accusing them of feeding students harmful content online, contributing to a growing mental health crisis and doing nothing to stop it.
I'd say over the last 15 years, there's been a progression of anxiety and depression that I see in, my practice at the schools I've been at. And I would say it's getting worse.
It's an issue lawmakers have been tackling over the last several years. The push to hold tech companies accountable, find out exactly what they know about the people using their products and the information they use to keep your kids online. New tonight at 6, the changes your lawmakers now say they're working towards. Life hacks, beauty tips, hilarious videos. Social media platforms found ways to tap straight into our brains, giving us laughter, wonderment, and according to health experts, unprecedented levels of feelings of inadequacy, depression, and sadness, especially in our kids. And they're finding it hard to turn it off.
We all are under assault from people knowing a lot of information about us, collecting that just because of our browsing habits.
It's just not a fair fight to figure out how to protect our kids online.
Your lawmakers say they've heard your concerns. We caught up with Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers during a town hall in Rosalia. She tells us the most popular apps are keeping secrets from parents.
Social media platforms, but also others that are not being transparent about what they know about the harms, the research that they've done.
She says accountability starts with knowing how these platforms target users.
We need more transparency and accountability around the algorithms that have been promoting people staying on these sites.
Right now, there are laws that stop companies from targeting kids under 13 years old with specific advertisements. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell tells us she'd like to see that changed.
But we want to raise that age to 16. We think that organizations or companies who can find out information about youth, knowing who they are, knowing their age, and then can send them targeted messaging is the wrong approach.
Senator Cantwell says social media companies need to listen to parents' concerns.
The mental health of our young people is so valuable to us, and so many people living a big part of their lives now online puts them in a situation where they can be more impacted from misinformation and unwanted information.
She believes the way television was regulated, think cigarette ads, can be applied to online content. And it's more than that. For her, it's an overall privacy and information issue. When you download an app, you give it permission to track you across the web, and in some cases, where you go physically. It also watches what you like and what you share with friends, even outside the app itself.
So many of the Americans are seeing their most personal information and information collected online about them, sold in ways that could actually be very harmful to them. We want to protect everybody, but we definitely want to make sure that we get this legislation passed as it relates to kids.
Last month, Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles traveled to D.C. to tell legislators he believes social media companies have the ability to find out who uses their platforms for things like selling drugs.
They do, but they have to be forced to do it. They have to be forced to comply with lawful court orders.
If it were a hotel or a motel that was involved in drug activity, the Department of Justice would come in and shut it down. And yet these platforms continue to operate.
When we may see change is hard to say.
No, it's not just a parent issue.
This is a real issue that we've been looking at in Washington.
Tonight, our digital anchor Rob King will be sitting down with experts on the effects of social media addiction, including what signs to look for if your child is addicted and how it can affect their health. You can stream the live interview on KXLY Plus and KXLY.com. And we want to hear what concerns you have about social media. Head to KXLY.com and you can submit your questions and we will take them to the experts. Our coverage on the effects of social media continues online, where we have exclusive content on KXLY Plus and our YouTube page, including the danger of overusing these websites and how that has an impact on your child's self-esteem. Still ahead, Supreme Court justices are now deliberating if President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan is constitutional. While one said the president might not have the power to forgive billions of dollars in debt. That's coming up next.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
At Mazda, we engineer confidence behind the wheel for all our drivers. The fact that the 2023 Mazda CX-5 remains the only small SUV in its class to achieve the highest rating in the new IIHS Side Impact Crash Test as of July 2022 ensures this confidence also extends to our passengers.
The all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5 was built for the Pacific Northwest. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
Winter weather means hazardous driving conditions. If you must travel, follow these guidelines to keep everyone safe. Slow down and keep a safe following distance. Use traction tires. Give snow and emergency vehicles the right of way. Carry an emergency kit. Brought to you by Lakes, Worley, Post Falls, and East Side Highway Districts.
In the tradition of Monk and Columbo, meet Will Trent.
Seemed like a great guy to me.
The investigation is on.
We are solving this thing.
Always. New Will Trent, tonight on ABC.
It's one of the most remarkable shows in musical theater history. Dear Evan Hansen, the winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. Dear Evan Hansen comes to Spokane this March.
You'll be found.
Visit BroadwaySpokane.com for your tickets.
You may be eligible for a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
YWCA's 41st Women of Achievement Luncheon is March 9th at the Davenport Grand. We will be celebrating 9 amazing women of achievement and the Y's 120 years of service in Spokane. Visit ywcaspokane.org for tickets.
Several advocacy groups gathered outside the Supreme Court in favor of President Joe Biden's student forgiveness program. Inside the courtroom, the justices heard arguments for 2 cases that are currently blocking the program that would forgive up to $20,000 of federal student loans. But it was put on hold by lower courts before any forgiveness back in November. One of the key issues is whether the Biden administration has the power to cancel about $400 billion in debt. Chief Justice John Roberts questioned why that wouldn't be a job for Congress.
Most casual observers would say if you're going to give up that much amount of money, if you're going to affect the obligations of that many Americans on a subject that's of great controversy, they would think that's something for Congress to act on. And if they haven't acted on it, then maybe that's a good lesson to say for the president or the administrative bureaucracy, that maybe that's not something they should undertake on their own.
The Biden administration argues it has the power to cancel federal student loan debt under the 2003 HEROES Act. The law says the Secretary of Education has the power to waive or modify a federal student loan program to ensure individuals are not in a worse position financially because of a war or other military operation or national emergency. Of the more than 40 million people eligible for forgiveness, about 208,000 are from Eastern Washington and Idaho's 1st legislative district. That's according to the Department of Education. About 37% of that has already been approved. A decision from the court is due out this summer, with federal loan repayments set to restart either 60 days after the court's decision or 60 days after June 30th.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We're heading into the teens tonight across the region with patchy freezing fog early tomorrow morning. Icy roads and sidewalks tonight through tomorrow morning's commute. And then we have some light snow on the way for Thursday. Some of us will have light snow. Others might have a little bit heavier snow. I will tell you all about it after the break.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Center.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday! Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $12, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
For a limited time only, get a new John Deere 1023E compact utility tractor with a 120E loader for only $199 per month. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for low monthly payments on top-of-the-line equipment that gets the job done, backed by our consistent quality customer service. Hurry in to your local Pape Machinery, Ag, and Turf store today to cash in on these limited time offers and get your property ready for the spring ahead. Pape keeps you moving.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in concert. Relive the adventure of Harry and his friends as a live symphony orchestra performs John Williams' unforgettable score with the full movie projected on the big screen. Don't miss this magical live concert event of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in concert.
Second show added. Get your tickets now at ticketswest.com.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2015. Getting a cancer diagnosis is literally like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. When I'm at Summit Cancer Centers, I feel like they're kind of part of my family in a sense. They've always had my best interests in mind, so I'm actually very hopeful for the future. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center.
Spokane Hope Center for children born deaf and hard of hearing. They've got the kids. They don't have the room. We're expanding their theater of operations, refreshing offices, and it's all going to happen at the end of the month. The 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the limited time double bacon cheddar pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Nacho cheddar cheese sauce, crispy bacon, Canadian bacon? Now that is an expression.
Change the way you pizza.
Big snow day across the inland Northwest. No Lie Brew House was there to help people. The local brewery opened just after 8 this morning and gave away free shovels. It's an annual Pay It Forward program. 250 shovels were up for grabs. The form of payment they were asking for, well, just pay it forward.
All we ask is that you pay it forward by maybe shoveling your neighbor's driveway or walkway and just spreading some love.
This is the 5th year No Lie has given out free shovels to the community. We checked a little more than an hour ago, and shovels were still available.
Well, there will be an opportunity for you to get a shovel and pay it forward. There is more snow coming in the forecast, but right now, with clear skies, radiational cooling is taking its toll on Coeur d'Alene. It's already 19 degrees. Main roads are in pretty good shape, but there's going to be some icy spots regardless because of some patchy freezing fog developing overnight, particularly right through the I-90 corridor. Spokane, mostly cloudy and 30 degrees. What a difference a few clouds makes, but with the fresh snow and some breaks in the overcast, we'll have no trouble getting down in the teens as well. Here's a look at the forecast lows tonight. Teens and some 20s in spots, including 21 in Pullman, 20 degrees in Ritzville, even Bonners Ferry staying in the 20s, but there'll be teens for Colville and Omak, 11 in Winthrop, 17 tomorrow morning in Kellogg. High temperatures tomorrow will be above freezing, and this late in the season with the sun angle higher than it is deeper in the winter, also longer period of daylight. Our roads should do a lot of melting, even though we're just a couple of degrees above freezing for our highs. So we'll have another batch of frozen roads tomorrow night. Here's a look at our forecast, sort of the big picture. Upper level trough brought the snow today with this cold front that moved through. We still have the possibility of some isolated snow showers tomorrow. Otherwise, it is going to be a break between systems with the next one on the way. Could see some snow as early as late Wednesday night, more likely into Thursday. Here's Thursday at 6 o'clock with the front off to our east and snow still over the mountains. Here's a look at some of the snowfall totals. This particular weather pattern definitely favors some heavy mountain snow in the Cascades and in the mountains of North Idaho. So that's where we're going to see our higher totals in the valleys in the mountain areas. Meanwhile, in Spokane, looks like we should have less than an inch, but we will be looking at those computer models carefully as this storm approaches and dialing in on those numbers for you. So be sure to tune back in tonight at 11, as well as tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. And Mark Peterson will guide you through the latest. In the short term, it is a cold night ahead with freezing fog, patchy freezing fog tomorrow morning, a high of 34 with partly sunny skies, 39 on Thursday with the snow. We have another chance of snow Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures through the entire 7-day forecast are running 5 to 10 degrees below average, with overnight lows down below freezing through the entire 7-day. And that trend looks like it is going to be sticking around for a while as we head into March. It's going to feel more like early February or even January. I'll be back with that in the next half hour. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Unrelenting severe winter weather has been battering the U.S. for days, bringing various levels of snowfall, freezing temperatures, ice, even tornadoes. On the West Coast, several mountain towns and snowbound with dwindling supplies. Mike Valerio is in Los Angeles, not far from those stranded.
We're just out here on our own, and usually by now, plows come by. It just seems like we're being forgotten about.
Hours turning into days. Entire mountain communities in San Bernardino County, California, snowed in as extreme winter weather lashes the West Coast.
I've only been waiting a short time. Other people have been waiting for 3 days.
Waiting to be escorted by state road crews along treacherous mountain roads with single lanes only open a few hours at a time.
We're running out of baby formula. We're just kind of up the creek right now.
San Bernardino is now under a state of emergency as county leaders ask for state and federal assistance to help them dig out.
I'm just going to say, you guys just stay home. Don't come up here, please.
In the mountains east of Sacramento, over to the Colorado Rockies, and as far south as Arizona and New Mexico, millions brace for more heavy snow through Wednesday. The same weather system that unleashed tornadoes over the central region Sunday marched through the Northeast with high winds and snow.
We had like 70-degree weather almost the other week, and now it's again cold, and it's been all over the place.
New York City seeing just a few inches Tuesday. Other areas like Boston as many as 6, and creeping towards 8 in northern New England through Tuesday evening.
Snow's like building up on my face just being here.
Enough already.
Yeah, exactly, precisely.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
Some lawmakers in Boise want to ban all public drag shows in Idaho. Why they say they shouldn't be allowed around children. Coming up on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath. From start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
This week, Michael's taking you live to one of the most remote inhabited islands anywhere in the world. An island filled with mystery, beauty, and magical wonder. Easter Island Live. You're invited for the Morning Global event. Good Morning America this week.
It's one of the most remarkable shows in musical theater history. Dear Evan Hansen, the winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. Dear Evan Hansen comes to Spokane this March.
Be found.
Visit BroadwaySpokane.com for your tickets.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
You even remember to water the house plants. I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda, home of the lifetime warranty.
Well, hi. Hey, I'm looking for a new Honda, but I heard some dealers are charging outrageous prices.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we're not doing that. With us, it's business as usual.
That's a relief.
And we include a lifetime warranty at no additional cost.
We are a family-owned dealership, and our reputation is far more valuable than overcharging our customers.
We want to be here for you today, tomorrow, and in the future.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Call today for our available inventory and check out our website at cdahonda.com.
Those responsible for making our local roads and highways safe for winter travel would like to remind you that snow removal is an important, critical, and precise task. Please give the right-of-way to removal equipment so we can all get where we need to go quickly and safely.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
4 News Now is brought to you by Super One Foods Meat Sale.
Around the nation, the White House and Congress taking aim at the Chinese-owned social media app TikTok. Soon, TikTok will be banned from all U.S. government-issued devices. Plus, the House Foreign Affairs Committee expected to vote on a bill that would make it easier to ban the app across the nation. CNN's Cole Higgins has more.
The powerful House Foreign Affairs Committee holding a hearing on the threat from China to national security.
We are living through one of the most dangerous periods in American foreign policy in a generation.
The committee is also set to vote on a bill that would empower the Biden administration to impose a nationwide ban on the Chinese-owned social media app TikTok if the White House determines TikTok and its parent company, ByteDance, knowingly transferred TikTok's user data to any foreign person working for or under the influence of the Chinese government. Sanctions would be required if the Biden administration determines the companies helped the Chinese government engage in surveillance, hacking, and censorship or intelligence gathering, among other things.
I don't have TikTok on my phone. I think there is strong evidence that TikTok is working with the CCP and sharing that data.
TikTok says, quote, it would be unfortunate to censor millions of Americans and do so based not on actual intelligence, but on a basic misunderstanding of our corporate structure. Already, though, the White House telling federal agencies they have 30 days to remove TikTok from all government-issued devices. A Chinese foreign ministry spokesperson saying, quote, I can't believe that the United States, as the world's #1 superpower, is so afraid of a mobile phone application popular among young people. This shows a lack of confidence. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
A push to ban public drag shows in Idaho. Which local lawmaker is sponsoring the bill? Next on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Big Table helps restaurant and hospitality workers in crisis and transition, offering care, coaching, and support.
Too often, the person preparing or serving your food is struggling to put food on their own table. Big Table serves hope through crisis intervention and relational care.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Big Table as they help enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a heat pump with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free heat pump from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
At Mazda, we engineer confidence behind the wheel for all our drivers. The fact that the 2023 Mazda CX-5 remains the only small SUV in its class to achieve the highest rating in the new IIHS Side Impact Crash Test as of July 2022 ensures this confidence also extends to our passengers.
The all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5 was built for the Pacific Northwest. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
For a limited time only, get a new John Deere 1023E compact utility tractor with a 120E loader for only $199 per month. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for low monthly payments on top-of-the-line equipment that gets the job done, backed by our consistent quality customer service. Hurry in to your local Pape Machinery, Ag, and Turf store today to cash in on these limited-time offers and get your property ready for the spring ahead. Pape keeps you moving.
Shine 104.9 is important because you never know where people are really at.
In our deepest, darkest moments that we are looking for a light. Shine is one of those ways for me.
I'm just trying to reach other addicts the same way, and one of the first things I tell them is you need to start listening to Christian music.
You made my recovery possible, and I'm sure you're helping many, many people.
I'm just grateful for Shine. It's such a blessing. There's a way to find hope, and it's just flipping your radio dial.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
We're taking a live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Those wet roads will be freezing overnight as the temps drop into the teens. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see if the ice will impact your morning commute. Chris, what do you say?
Well, it certainly will on some of the untreated and side roads, which are still covered with some of the slush from today's record snows. Here's a look at our road temperatures currently. They are already below freezing. There's slick spots around the area. We're going to add a little freezing fog to that. But temperatures by tomorrow morning's commute are going to be way down in the teens and 20s, so it will be frozen solid. This time of year, however, that sun angle and the length of day really works in our favor in regards to the roads. By 10 a.m., we're already above freezing for our road temperatures, even though our air temperature will not quite be at freezing. Our road temperatures getting up into the 50s tomorrow by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where our air temperature will barely make it above freezing. And then very quickly, we will be dropping down below freezing again for the evening commute, and all the melting that we do tomorrow will refreeze. So it is going to be a bit of a freeze-thaw situation with our driving. Meanwhile, we're clear in terms of fog right now over most of the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, but we go up into Deer Park. Visibility has been wavering between a mile and less than a quarter of a mile for the last hour, so we're starting to see that fog develop. It will be patchy and it won't stick around long tomorrow morning because same reason those roads heat up, that sun angle really helps to clear out the fog. Satellite and radar, we have a weakening band of snow moving into the Palouse right now. It will likely not make it much further north than it already is, but you will likely see a light dusting of snow flurries around the Moscow and Pullman area. Tonight, we are going to be dropping down into the teens in Spokane. Expect 16 degrees at 6 a.m. with some areas of freezing fog. Partly sunny skies, and we warm up nicely, finally getting above freezing for our air temperature around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Our high tomorrow only 34. 44 is our average high. I don't think we're going to be talking about average highs for a while. We have got some cold weather ahead. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. In Idaho, some lawmakers want to ban drag performances in public and in the presence of children, including State Senator Ben Taves from Coeur d'Alene. On Monday, the Idaho Family Policy Center introduced a bill that would allow people to sue drag queens or anyone else who promotes or organizes a public drag show. Bronte Sorotsky joins us live in studio with why some lawmakers don't want children to see these performances and how one LGBTQ organization in North Idaho is reacting to the proposed bill.
Well, this bill would restrict children from watching any drag performance and would prevent any from being held in public spaces. Consequences for any performers or organizers violating that could result in being sued, being charged with a misdemeanor, or facing jail time. One North Idaho LGBTQ organization says this only scares people into hiding their true selves.
In the same way that a parent cannot consent to a child, bringing a child, for example, to a strip club, we would preclude a parent from bringing a child to these sexually explicit exhibitions.
Blaine Canzotti with the Idaho Family Policy Center says he wants to ban drag shows from public places or any places with kids.
The state of Idaho's compelling interest in protecting minor children from live performances containing sexually explicit conduct.
The North Idaho Pride Alliance in Coeur d'Alene says parents should be the ones to decide what their kids can and can't watch.
But when it comes to taking away someone else's rights just because you see it a certain way, or trying to dampen someone else's shine, or trying to take away the ability for other children to have experiences that will allow them to learn things about themselves and be in an inclusive environment, that's when it's crossing a line.
The Alliance's education chair says the drag performers at Coeur d'Alene Pride were kid-friendly.
Everything was very PG. There was no kind of sexual dancing.
If this bill passes, any drag performers or event organizers can be sued for up to $10,000. It would also ban the use of public spaces for these shows, and anyone violating this could be found guilty of misusing public money and could be charged with a misdemeanor. That means they could face not only a fine, but also possible jail time.
The requirements of this proposed legislation would apply equally to drag shows, to erotic dancing, to burlesque. Neither belongs in a public park, a public facility, or other places where children are present.
Putting that into law and making it so that people cannot exist in public is wrong.
Now that the bill has officially been introduced, it should get a public hearing in committee before the House floor votes on it. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. New at 6 o'clock, the future of Bloomsday was up in the air 5 months ago when race director John Neal was stripped of his title and then resigned. 2 board members left with him. The annual event was officially kicked off today. The theme, Bloom Together. Like always, the race will be the first Sunday in May. This year, that's May 7th. The 7.48-mile race will follow the normal route out of downtown to the west and ending on the Monroe Street Bridge. The end of race celebrations will return to Riverfront Park this year. That includes a beer garden. The organization also announced today our own Robin Nance's organization, Teen and Kid Closet, is this year's charity of choice. There will be a donation drive to help supply Teen and Kid Closet with clothes that are given to kids who are in foster care or living in poverty. So watch for the opportunity to donate or check out teenkidscloset.org to see when you can donate at the store on East Sprague. In case you're wondering what happened to John Neal in the wake of leaving Bloomsday, he's now the executive director of the Community Cancer Fund here in Spokane. Domestic violence is a huge problem in our community. Professionals who respond to these types of cases were able to enhance their skills to stop the violence today.
These are preventable types of homicide, unlike some other types of homicides that aren't predictable. It's so important that our communities invest up front in prevention.
The training is put on by the Spokane Regional Domestic Violence Coalition. The organization says normally professionals would travel elsewhere to get the training, but this time they decided to bring the education to Spokane. Our Vanessa Perez gives us a look at the tools being used.
The training is for those who work in the area of domestic violence, such as law enforcement, prosecutors, first responders, and more. Experts say it's critical to humanize the threat of those experiencing intimate partner violence.
Oftentimes it's not about leaving, it's actually about survival. And as soon as we understand that, and then we can be much more effective in our responses.
Experts say victims and survivors can sometimes be misunderstood by law enforcement and the legal system.
They don't walk into these cases understanding why victims might behave a certain way so they can save themselves, save their children. And so it's important that we understand where survivors and victims are coming from.
McKay says, like being able to see, it's often the perpetrator who's driving the victim's behavior.
I often misunderstood to be them not wanting to engage with the system because they didn't either want to see the case prosecuted or have the offender held accountable. I started to understand all the underlying fear and the reasons that disengaging with the system was often a survival skill.
Currently, patrol officers use assessments to identify dangerous cases. The lethality one has 11 questions, such as has a suspect threatened to kill the victim or themselves. It allows officers to know how to respond if they need to bring in more resources or additional services.
We wanted to, again, bring training for our professionals here in our community to help support children and families that are struggling with domestic violence and the related trauma.
Spokane has one of the highest rates of domestic violence in the state. The training continues Wednesday. Reporting in the studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Vanessa, thank you. If you or someone you know needs help getting out of a domestic violence situation, there are resources available. You can snap a picture of your screen right now, and we'll also have these numbers available on KXLY.com. Housing was a major topic at last night's Spokane City Council meeting. Council members passed 3 measures that not only add additional protection for both tenants and landlords, but also to increase the number of homes in downtown. The first package will bring a number of changes, including a $15 door fee that renters would pay every year. That money would go into a pool that could assist both landlords and tenants. For example, if you're living in an apartment that is not up to code and your landlord refuses to pay for repairs, the money would assist with lawyer fees to pursue compensation as well as helping find a new home. Another part of the package would require all landlords to obtain a business license, which would cost them about $130 per year. The City Council also passed the Pavement to People ordinance that would increase housing in downtown Spokane. The ordinance waives the sales and use tax on new construction to incentivize development on underutilized areas like parking lots. We're told parking areas account for 30% of downtown land. At the busiest point in the day, only 56% of those spots are being used. Councilmember Zach Zapone released a statement saying Spokane is in a housing crisis and we need to do everything we can to increase our supply of affordable housing. Half of all new developments would be required to be affordable housing units at different affordability levels. The conference tournament brackets are set. We take a look at Gonzaga's road to another WCC title coming up in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
Do you have concrete floors that look like this? Let Everhart Painting Floor Coating Specialists transform your floors with their multi-step coating system. The finished product is spectacular, aids in the safety of your space, and much more. Call Everhart Painting today to schedule a free estimate. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Spokane Hope Center for children born deaf and hard of hearing. They've got the kids. They don't have the room. We're expanding their theater of operations, refreshing offices, and it's all going to happen at the end of the month. The 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Weather Alert Days on 4 News Now.
That means weather that could be a threat to your family's safety.
We have now declared this a Weather Alert Day. The First Alert Weather Team pinpoints the most impactful and dangerous days, warning you early, on air and online.
We want to make sure you and your family are prepared.
It is time to check the batteries in your flashlights and emergency kits.
Weather Alert Days, another way we're keeping you safe on 4 News Now. That's what we mean when we say, expect more.
Daytime's #1 talk show returns to the Oscar stage. Live to the Dolby Theater in Hollywood, California, Monday, March 13th.
Watch the Live with Kelly and Ryan after Oscar special, Monday, March 13th, only on KXLY ABC4.
There's a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Do you have concrete floors that look like this? Let Everhart Painting Floor Coating Specialists transform your floors with their multi-step coating system. The finished product is spectacular, aids in the safety of your space, and much more. Call Everhart Painting today to schedule a free estimate. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Next, E.T.
Michael B. Jordan was the first
boyfriend of the internet.
We're with Creed 3's Total Knockouts, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. Plus,
This is my husband Dan. I know him already.
your first look at the new Fatal Attraction series, Then. Our Black History Month spotlight goes home with will.i.am giving back and taking us behind the music.
I thought I wrote the biggest song in the world. Turns out I was wrong.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Record snowfall today in Spokane, officially at the airport, had almost 4.5 inches of snow. Our old record, 3.3, that was set way back in 1955. So far this season, we've had over 50 inches of snow. We are running above average year to date, or season to date, I should say. We average 40.7 by this point. We're heading into March, and there's more snow to come and more wintry weather. I want to show you some of the snowfall totals from around the area. First of all, just in Spokane, many locations, the South Hill, Eagle Ridge, many of the locations reporting 6 inches was common, but in Cheney it was 8 inches of snow. St. Mary's 7, Blanchard, Hayden, Chattaroy all getting 6 inches of snow. Post Falls almost 6 and 5 inches in Colville. It's just a sampling of some of the snowfall totals. We have more snow coming. This next system on the way should not be as impressive. We are looking at an inch or less around Spokane, but further to the east into Coeur d'Alene could see up to 2 inches. And this is starting in the very early morning hours Thursday. Will likely impact your Thursday morning commute, and continuing through at least the afternoon, more in Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry, and some heavy snow all over the Cascades. Thursday would not be a good day to head west over those mountain passes. Meanwhile, our wintry weather looks like it is going to continue for a bit. Here is a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. This white line is average, and it is already in the mid-40s. Our average high continuing to climb, but we are down here in the 30s, maybe up to 40 on Thursday, but that's a stretch. And it looks like we may be even cooler as we head into next week. And the extended forecast, here we are in the dark navy blue, indicating tremendous confidence that we will have below average temperatures. This is for that March 8th to March 14th time period. The latest forecast for the entire month of March echoing this. It looks like we are in for a cool March. No early spring for us. We had our spring in January. And then in our precipitation, above average precipitation, but not as strong a signal. We're just in the medium green, but I think we're going to be doing some more shoveling. 4 things to know about your weather. Teens tonight, patchy freezing fog, icy roads and sidewalks tomorrow morning, and then that light snow coming in Thursday. Light in Spokane, heavy in the mountains. I'll have a final look at your 7-day forecast later in the news. Aaron?
Chris, thank you.
When we found out that our son was deaf, and then that they were opening a school made specifically for kids who were wanting to do oral language with cochlear implants and all this new technology, it was like a miracle. It was amazing.
Well, Jan and Sam Stahosky were among the first parents some 19 years ago to enroll their son Eli at the Spokane Hope Center. Kids diagnosed as deaf or hard of hearing often use cochlear implants. That technology, coupled with a specialized way of teaching, helps these children learn to communicate, and that education sets them up for future success. Mark Peterson and the Extreme team are helping create more space at this center, and it was all about installing some new carpet today.
The afternoon hours, and what do we have? We've got an office that's almost finished. That's not too bad. So McLeod Special Flooring and Chad and his crew did a gorgeous job. They're going to be done with this entire area today. So that was the big story today, getting all the carpeting in from ProSource. Now, across the way, Spokane Sunscreen continuing to put up the film on the windows. More importantly, you won't be able to see in. And the other most important thing is 84% of the heat gets pushed away from the window. Therefore, it is easier to control the heat and cooling. And the Fireplace Center, they're going to appreciate that because the air conditioning and the heaters that have been fixed and repaired will have to work less in order to keep this space comfortable for the kiddos and the therapists. Also, we had more painting, and Horizon Credit Union doing their best. Now, look at these 4 cans of paint. What you see are the 4 primary colors within the Hope logo that will become the doors of the new area. All right, so we've got flooring done, painting almost done. Tomorrow, it's all about setting up the stage for some wonderful and surprising surprises we're going to be building that are being assembled off-site. I'm Mark Peterson, 4 News Now for the Extreme Team.
Thank you, Mark. And here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight. It's the Rookie at 8, followed by the Rookie Feds at 9. Then it's Will Trent at 10.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
We celebrate our 28th anniversary the same way any self-respecting casino would, by giving you a shot at $28,000. Qualify all month long with hot spins and super spins for your shot at the cash on April 1st. Anniversary specials for midweek rooms at the Kootenai Falls Lodge are just $59 or $89 for Riverview rooms. Grab some anniversary cash at the Kootenai Casino and book your March getaway. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Idaho is growing. But let's not just grow larger.
Let's grow smarter.
After high school, college, or university,
Idaho public colleges and universities have the 6th lowest costs of all states.
And higher education means higher incomes.
More opportunities.
A better life for you.
For us.
For Idaho.
For Idaho.
Visit educationforidaho.org to learn more.
So we recently partnered up with Ben Gregg of the Gonzaga Bulldogs to help us spread the word about our Zags Win, You Win promotion. And next time I'll bet he'll read the fine print.
It's not all bad. Turns out I have a natural talent for heating and cooling. Zags win, you win.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
STA is a great place to work for a few different reasons. There are definitely a lot of opportunities here at STA, no matter where you start at. There's always opportunities for advancement, things to help you move from one position to the next.
All the departments here, paratransit, fixed route, we all work together to help the community, and that's why I like to work here.
Returns to the Oscar stage, March 13th.
Happy March Eve. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. With the madness just days away, we're here to dive into each of our team's conference tournaments. We start with the Gonzaga men's team. The Bulldogs are looking for a 4th straight West Coast Conference Tournament championship. Gonzaga enters the WCC tournament as the number 2 seed. St. Mary's is the number 1 seed. The Gales were awarded the top seed in the tournament due to a higher net ranking than the Bulldogs, even with Gonzaga's win over St. Mary's on Saturday. So as the number 2 seed, Gonzaga automatically advances to the semifinals of the WCC tournament. The Bulldogs could potentially play 3 seed Santa Clara. The Bulldogs beat the Broncos twice this season, and that game would be at 8:30 on Monday, March 6th in Las Vegas. Now, there is a chance the Bulldogs will match up against St. Mary's one more time, and that would be in the tournament championship game.
Important thing in that thing is getting the, you get the bye, so we won't have to go down till Sunday with a double bye. That's what we signed up for, the rules. I don't know if any of us looked at the fine print like that, but it's probably the only way you can do it.
The Bulldogs close out the regular season against Chicago State at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at McCarthy Athletic Center. Gonzaga will also be celebrating Senior Day. Gonzaga women's basketball is the top seed heading into the WCC tournament. The Bulldogs won the outright regular season title with the win over BYU on Saturday. Gonzaga is looking for its third straight conference tournament championship. Similar to the men's team, the Gonzaga women earned a bye into the semifinals. The Bulldogs could match up against San Francisco. Gonzaga won the 2 meetings against the Dons by double digits this season. Gonzaga's semifinal game is at noon on Monday, March 6th, also in Las Vegas. Washington State women's hoops opens up the Pac-12 tournament tomorrow against Cal. The Cougars won 3 of their last 4 games heading out of the regular season into this conference tournament. Washington State also won its regular season meeting, the only one that they played Cal. That was 70-60 final score earlier this month in Pullman. As we take a look at the bracket, tip-off between Washington State and Cal is scheduled for 6 o'clock tomorrow night in Las Vegas. If Washington State defeats the Bears, that sets up a matchup against 2-seed Utah. Eastern Washington men's basketball won the Big Sky Conference regular season title. The Eagles are the top seed entering the conference tournament and earned a first-round bye. The Eagles will take on the winner of the 9-10 seed game between Idaho and Northern Arizona. The Vandals will be playing without head coach Zach Kloss, who was fired from the program yesterday. Assistant coach Tim Marion will be the interim head coach for the rest of the season. As for Eastern Washington, after dominating the season all season long, the Eagles have lost last 2 games. So head coach David Riley was asked about it after yesterday's game, and he says he isn't nervous one bit.
They love to compete. They got a chip on their shoulder. You know, we got a bunch of guys that aren't supposed to be here. We're not supposed to pick 5th place, you know. Guys took crazy routes to get to Eastern Washington, and there's nothing to be nervous about. We're playing with house money. We're gonna come in loose and aggressive and ready to kick some butt.
Eastern Washington women's basketball is the 4 seed in the Big Sky Conference tournament. Idaho is the number 6 seed, and both teams are on opposite sides of the bracket, so they wouldn't play until the championship game potentially. Eastern will take on Montana to start. Idaho will take on Sacramento State. Both of these games are on Monday, March 6th. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Ballet dancers hit and run. Next, in Sun Edition, 5 teenage ballet dancers broadsided on their way back from rehearsals.
It's been really hard to not be able to move at all.
Will they ever be able to dance again?
I can't do anything on my own.
Then, the loneliest cheerleader. She's the entire squad. What happened to the other cheerleaders? Next, in Sun Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
So, how's the menopause going? Unexpected rage, hot flashes, exhaustion, big fan. Here's to being tired all day and up at night.
Said no woman ever. Estroven relieves major menopause symptoms.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Call Russell & Hill, attorneys at law.
Where real people
with real injuries
get real results.
24/7, nights and weekends.
Free consultations.
And there's never a fee unless we win.
Choose 2.
Choose Russell & Hill.
Ironstone Furniture and Fire is making room for new inventory. For a limited time, you can create your ideal space and save on in-stock selections. Sofas, chairs, tables, and more. Comfortable and beautiful furniture makes a house feel like home. Visit our showroom, Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set. Hey, that's great news. So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tony Award-winning Best Musical, Dear Evan Hansen.
Here's your planning forecast. Tomorrow, a slick start to the day with all the wet roads refreezing. Snow on the way for Thursday, and it is going to be a chilly week ahead. 30s right on through the weekend and beyond.
Starting that out with a record-breaking snow day.
Oh, here comes March.
We'll see it tonight at 11 o'clock.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.